Well, hello again. Another little video. This is basically in two parts. One is on the lighting that I have on my layout, because I've been asked on many occasions about how I do my lighting on my layout. And the second is setting a loco up, not only through Railmaster but through JMRI, which is a way of controlling your locos. So first of all, we'll go to the lighting. Now, as you see on mine, there's a lot of lighting. Just before we go to that little bit, as you notice here, I've now got a new building. This is the latest from Metcalfe, which is the little workshop one, or brewery, or whatever you might call it. There's different ways you can call it. And I've put the lighting in, so that is now put in situ. So all my lighting is here. Now, one thing is it's all controlled through a Hornby 4 amp transformer. No power to any of this lighting goes through the track power. I make sure that my power for my track is there for the locos and not for anything else. So all this works like that. Now what it is they all work through little buttons on here. And this is through a relay called a RL1 relay to Train Tech. But now, of course, that Train Tech has been taken over by Gain Capacity, and it's now called a TT-RL1. It sits down there, actually. And what it is it works basically like a signal. It's got a little learner button, so you put a little set of controls in for it, which I've got points, of course. And the contacts on it will take 3 amp. So they'll take this track power with no problem whatsoever, or the lighting power to the layout, so to say. Now what it is if I now click this one here, like that, all the lighting goes off except for the street lights at the back and the street lights around here. So this is like night time when everybody's gone to sleep. And all I have to do now is to click the button again, like that, and they all come on. Now the other thing that works through the system is over here there's a set of points. There's one which goes round into the fiddle yard and one which goes right round the back through the tunnel to the turntable. Now what happens is those set of points there control those lights. So if I now go to here and go to this bit here and click this, so all the yard lights have gone out because I'm going to go round the back. I'm not getting into the fiddle yard. So all I have to do with that again is click the points again and all the yard lights come on. So that is the way I control most of my lighting on here as well. Now also sitting over there, underneath there, there's a special effect relay. Again, another Train Tech. All the stuff on this layout is Train Tech. All my buildings, except for that over there, are all Metcalfe. They are brilliant kits. Some of them, like this, took me about a day and a half to build all that lot. It took me 4 days to build all that across there. But they're great kits, same as all these little bits down here as well. Now, another thing that I've got is my little level crossing here, which you don't see very often happening. And what that is here is a little signal. And what it is if I just click that one now, there's my level crossing. And what it was is, well, this is the first ones. Usually what happened is David used to get hold of me. He's bringing a new product out and I would get it. So I'm always the first one to get the new product, which is ideal because then I can do a video on it. And what these were, there's a kit, and what it is a little relay unit, everything else, and then these little LEDs, which I have to drill the back of the Pico level crossing unit and put them in there. But now you can buy them complete. You don't have to do all this, so they're a lot easier to work to. Also, there's another little relay, as I said, over there. One which does that little van over there, puts a light on it. There's another one which does the police box there. There's a normal little boy here with a camera, and the other one is the welding one over there. So if I now click these, which are these here, so if I click the van on, you'll see the van lighting up. I now click the police box, the little police box lights up. If I now do the little boy down here, you'll see he's got his camera and it'll see it flash in a minute. There you are. And then if I click on the welding, which is the one in the shed, you'll see that welding, that works as well. There you are. So all I've got to do with that is just turn them off now. I don't want them on. So that is how I do all my lighting. So what I'm going to do now is I'll show you how I put a loco on the actual layout. Now what I've got is, this is my new programming track, of course. This one is the one I use for Railmaster, and this one is the one I use for JMRI. The only thing is when we normally have a program track, you've got to switch it from program to main track to make the thing run. But with JMRI, it does it all on the same track. I've got an oval downstairs which I run everything off, which I do most of my testing, and that is how I actually operate them. Now one thing you have to remember with this is that when you start coding it, this thing is going to start moving this way, so always put it up this end. Well, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to come out of this one here now, and we're going to go to JMRI, which is this. These are all my trains I've got in at the moment. A lot of them aren't on there because most of my trains, such as these around here at the moment, they're all programmed, and I don't want to mess the programs up because some of them take me days to do. So I'm not going to be messing any of my program units up at all. So these are basically the trains that I don't run programs with. So what we're going to do first of all is you've got to find out what that's got in it. Now if you do it by Railmaster, this can take 3 minutes. This can take this in seconds. So first of all, you go to this bit here which says new loco up there, and you click on it, and these are all the different manufacturers of decoders, as you can see all up here. So what we do now is you go to read type, and you can see how quick it's reading the little CVs. Look at that. And what it'll do, it'll actually come up with a type of loco. You know? And let's just come up with Hornby. Now these of course are all the different TTS ones, but of course I know that it's a digital, and I know that it's a R8249, that one there. What we do now is we do in here, we actually put in the name of the loco we're going to call it. Call it main for now, like that. What we do is we can read it. Put it on there. Let's do it this way. Read it again. Sorry about that. Look, see it moving. Then we can write it. Done, and we'll save it. And that is now saved to the roster. You'll find that down the bottom here. Look down here. See? So we click on this now, and we now go to Program here for starters. Here's where you fill the rest of it in, who the manufacturer is, the road number. It's called, this is American, so it's what road number is basically the ID. So you put it is 14, so you put 14 in there. And the model, which is the main line, you'd write in there, and then save it to the roster. In here now we've got the basic, so that's a short addressed loco. If it was a long address, you click that one. The motor, which is there, with acceleration, deceleration. Now what you can do with that is, if I just take this out and put a 5 in again, like that, I now go and write full sheet. Done. That's how quick it is. Now the only trouble with this is it doesn't like Hornby decoders in any way, shape or form, TTS or standard. So if you go to basic speed controls, you'll get nothing. Go to that speed table, which is your curve speed table, you'll get nothing. Go to CVs, and there you can actually change the CVs if you wanted to. As I say, look, the 5 and 6 is missing in here, but that's the only ones you can actually write. So that has done that bit. So now if you have to come out of here now and go to throttle here, and we can go to here. Now if it was like a TTS, all these would be fitted already. It's what I showed you on the last video. If I now go to reverse, let's do it reverse easy, go to 50, well, there's a train moving. Put it to stop. I can also use my mouse, so I actually go to forward like this and roll the wheel on the mouse slowly. Look, that's how slow I can control the train. Do that. So that is just one with a basic Hornby decoder in it. Now then, I'll take that off there for now. What we're now going to show you is the little packet here, the NCB one. Now, when we're doing Hornby trains, if you put them in by the code number, they comes up with a speed restriction. My little Rushton, and this one especially, they are set at 10 miles an hour. So when you put it in coded by Hornby, this will not go over 10 miles an hour. And I don't use that any road. I just put them in a backward way, just put them in a normal train, change the picture on it, and that train will go around at 70 miles an hour with no problem at all. And I'll show you what I mean by that now. So what we've got now is, if I go to here, and I've got it set at 70 miles an hour. So we do this. And you'll see it jump in a second. There you go. Now watch. Which is not what that should do. But I can do that with it. But I can change it by the Hornby. I'm just going to wait to stop. Here it comes. There you go. Whoa. You'll do here. Right. So you can change that by, of course, adjusting those there. But that still will run that way. Now, when you've got non-Hornby trains, like I've got my 68 and that, they'll run round at a loopy speed, so you've got to put these speed controls in. So what I'm going to do with that now, because you've seen it running around at that, what we're going to do now is we're going to change that by doing it by JMRI. And there is the shunter there, which is that one there. If I now go to the programs again here, look at this, and what we've got here is there's the basic, which we've done already. There's the motor, and that's set at acceleration of 15 and 10, so you can alter them within a couple of seconds. The basic speed, now this is what we normally have with non-Hornby trains, is we can alter the mid-range and the maximum range. And you have to adjust them to what you want. And up there is a little button, so if you click that, this train will actually run via that. But we're not going to use that. We're going to use a speed control. Now that is from there to there straight away. So that's the straight path. Now what you can do with this is on here, so what I can do with this, so do this, and we put this in as 62, which it is there, and use that one there. See how it jumped? Now find 14, there's 14 there. Now I know, I've set this up already, so I'm just doing this. This is set up at 149, like that, like that. And then what we do then is go to this last one, which is this one here. We'll click this one in as well, just make sure. What we do now is do this, and we're now going to put in 154 in there. And what we're going to do then is match the ends, see how it's changed it. Now what we do now is go to here and write the full sheet. This is how quick it reads the CVs. You can see them being read down here. It's setting all the CVs up. Like this. Done. So we now go to here and it's saying we want to save it. We save it. we now come out of here and we now go back to Railmaster and we get the train and we put it on the track here now. Now remember, this is still set at 70 on here. Now watch it. Look. That's 70 mile an hour, and it didn't do it 70 mile an hour because we controlled it through a speed curve. And all it is a matter of is adjusting them all the time. So say if I now push this up to the top, which is 150 mile an hour, it's still not going any faster. It's still going round because it's controlled via the speed curve. Now one thing is, if you run your trains like this on Railmaster and you've got them all set up, what actually happens, could happen, if you were a member of a railway club and you take your train to the railway club, and what happens is that while you just go for a cup of tea or something like that, somebody happened to turn the controls up full, that train could go off like a bullet. But because we've done a speed control, no matter how much you turn it up on the controller, it'll still only do that particular way you've actually set it up. So it's a protection for your trains if you take your trains somewhere else or somebody else's layout. So it's an ideal. Now, as I showed you on the last one, I've actually, when I do my setting up downstairs from my oval, I've actually got this, which is my speedometer. And actually, in fact, this is the box it came in. And as you see, I put it in a box. There's the little sensors in there. And the reason it's in this is for two things. One is that this relay, this system doesn't like that, which is light. It doesn't like cameras, and it doesn't like mobile phones. It can affect it. So by putting it in this, it is screening those sensors from the light up there. So it runs a lot better. So downstairs, it's a bit darker downstairs where I do it. I can set them up, then when I bring it up here, I can set it up and then run the train to see if it's actually run exactly as I've actually set it up. So it's a brilliant piece of kit, and this is thanks to Clive, my friend down south, who bought this for me. It is a brilliant piece of kit. So that is the way I now set up all my trains. One thing is also, which I've also got on the system, of course, is if I come out of here for a minute and go to here, which is my train announcement system. As you see, you've heard my train announcements before on the system. I can actually click that one, mind the gap, and do that one there. I'll just put it as a Derby and just put it as depart and do this.
The next train to depart on platform 1 will be the 11:45 Derby. This train is formed of 3 coaches. British Rail would like to apologise to passengers for the late running of this service and any inconvenience this may have caused. Please mind the gap when boarding this train.
So say that's where I set all my trains up. This train announcement system from Phil is £20, and it's the best £20 I've ever spent to setting up all. So you can do the Transpennine, you can do what you want with all this, but also sitting in this one little box here. These are all different sounds. And one thing is like this, I can put on the station busker. Like this, I've got the signal box. So I can do that one. There's quite a few. There's train ambience. It does all things, like slamming doors. Guard's whistle. It's got some other sounds here as well. It's got traffic, market. We've got an ice cream van. Got church bells, we've got all different things down here. This is the one I like. This is for the older generation. You most probably can recognise these. So what I can do with that, I can run my railway while the music's on, just to enjoy myself. So I can go to here now and just turn that off there, turn that off, and we just turn this bit off here as well, and go back to here. So that is some of the things we can do with the systems. If you want me at any time, I'm on 01782 302194. My email address is there as well. And please subscribe. And also, if you go to YouTube and type in Hornby Railmaster Brian Hughes, you'll see a little icon of mine there. Click on that, and as it comes up here, underneath the little blue balloon, there's a little button there that says donate. So if anybody wants to donate at any time, please do so. Also, if you want to contact me, is one thing you really need to contact me is this, which is TeamViewer, which is this. And what it does is you download it via Google. Or do TeamViewer free download. You download this, and then what you do is you tell me what your ID is, what your password is. I'll then contact you. You contact me. You tell me those. I will then get onto your system, and I can do it in seconds. I've got a gentleman who rang me last week. He's having a bit of a problem. He's on Windows 11. I don't know why to do, but he can't get up to yet. As far as I know, he can't get the TeamViewer on. But his problem he's got with it, I know what it is. It's all in the INI file. And what I can do with that is, what I do is actually go to my system here, copy my INI file, go onto his system, click on the system, take his out, put mine in, and he's got a complete system as I've got. This, of course, this is an Elite up here, and I've got an E-Link downstairs, so I can copy either one of them directly straight to your computer, and in seconds you've got what I've got. My systems have been running for 9 years with no problems whatsoever. So any problems you've got is how to set up track, how to set up lights, how to set up points, anything like that. I can do a lot of this. I've been doing this for 9 years. I can do some of this in seconds. Also, I can go in and see that all your settings for linking your computer to your E-Link or Elite are correct, and I could solve a lot of problems in minutes than you struggling for weeks. So please contact me if any problems you've got with Railmaster, or want to talk about Railmaster in any way, shape, or form, or JMRI. The only thing with JMRI is you have to remember there's hundreds of videos on YouTube about how to set up JMRI, but you have to remember they're all American. So when they're talking trains and decoders, they're talking American stuff, not like ours. But most of our stuff is there. The only thing is you've got is that, say with the Hornby, is that you can't do the speed controls, they do not work. But other than that, everything else works. So if anybody wants me, please contact me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.